Welcome to my book reviews. This week I am going to be reviewing a book called The Art of Seduction. And it's not what you think it is. It's really not what you think it is. It's by Robert Greene. So if any of you have ever heard of The 48 Laws of Power or The Art of War, this is the guy who has written it. The Art of Seduction, and I get generally, when I read Robert Greene books, sometimes I do get a little bit worried because you can either see it, you can see it in one of two ways. You can either see it as an attack, like a weapon, or you can see it as a defense mechanism. So yeah, I think whenever I read them, I'm a little bit wary because then I start to sometimes think, oh, is someone trying to use his techniques on me? But let me get back to the point. So The Art of Seduction for me was really useful because it is basically a narcissist's dream. It's a way to seduce someone. It's literally a book full of seduction techniques, really. A way for someone to get into your head, manipulate you, seduce you, and then drop you like a hat, and meanwhile you don't even know it's happened. By the time it's happened, it's too late and you've already been sucked in. Why have I chosen a book called The Art of Seduction? I've chosen this book in particular purely because I've had a past experience with emotionally abusive relationships, and I feel that this book is something that I'm really glad to have picked up, to be honest with you, because listening to a lot of the techniques that were used in this book, I can relate it back to the situation that I was in a few years ago. Some of the techniques that were used, some of the methods, some of the things that were said, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is exactly what this person done. And I think if I'd listened to this a few years ago, would I have been in the situation that I was? Would I have ended up in that relationship? Would it have spiraled me? Who knows? But I think, in my opinion, of someone who's been in one of those relationships, I can't recommend this highly enough to anyone out there who's been in an emotionally abusive relationship or thinks that they are in one now. I think it's a great way to spot the signs, first of all. I mean, you know, sort of without getting too emotional on camera, I think it's just a great way to arm yourself, because although, you know, there are going to be some lovely people out there, there are going to be, you know, there is going to be the Prince Charming, or, you know, your queen or whatever, that's going to come in and is going to sweep you off your feet, it's going to, you know, truly show you what love is. But the fact is, there are going to be some arseholes. And in my opinion, again, because all of this is my opinion, but in my opinion, after listening to this book and hearing the techniques, relating them back, I think it made me feel better. Because I think when you've been in one of these relationships, you sit there and you blame yourself a lot. Like, you sit there, you blame yourself, you think, what did I do? Why did I deserve this? How could I have let this happen to me? You go through there's like a whole list of emotions and things that I tried to process, and to be honest with you, none of it is your fault. None of it was my fault, but I couldn't see it. I didn't know what this person was doing. I wouldn't know. I'm not a narc like that. I'm not a narcissist. And I think if you've had trouble with narcissists before, if you've had trouble in emotionally abusive relationships, I highly, 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 highly recommend this book. I actually listened to it on audiobook on an app called Scribed. Scribed is amazing. I don't really have time to sit there and read books. I mean, could I make time? Yes, probably, but I'm a person of convenience, like most of us are these days. With Scribed, when you first sign up, they give you a 30-day free trial. After that, you pay $7.99 a month and you get unlimited books. So, I mean, to be fair, if you want to read, you can have unlimited downloadables to read, but you can have unlimited audiobooks and PDFs as well. And I think that's amazing because there are some apps out there right now that are charging £20 a book. And to be honest with you, I can't really be paying £20 every single week for a book, but I can afford $7.99 a month to be downloading about 20 odd books and going through them in, you know, at my own pace, which I think is amazing. So I think, you know, if you're not someone that likes to sit down and read, definitely download Scribed. Download it, try the 30-day free trial, listen to The Art of Seduction. Please, honestly, I can't recommend it enough. If you've been in an abusive relationship, if you've been in an emotionally abusive relationship, if you've been in a physically abusive relationship, any type of abusive relationship, listen to this. Or if you've ever been confused about how a narcissist operates, listen to this book. Once you have listened to this book, let me know how you get on, because I'm really curious. I mean, this is my perspective as one person who's come through the other side of one of those types of relationships. But, you know, I know there are so many people out there right now that have experienced it. So yeah, you know, once you've listened or watched this review, if you do read the book, hit me up. Let me know what you thought of it. Like, I'm really, really interested to see what other people think. But as always, thank you for tuning into my channel. I really, 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 from the bottom of my heart, appreciate every single view, every single positive word. Honestly, it means a lot to me. So thank you very much, and I will see you